Is there anyone in this country that actually enjoys going to the dealership? Is there anyone that, has had a good experience with buying a car from a dealership? I feel like Tesla has really done such a great job of just moving away from the dealership model and selling directly to customers. And I understand why so many people who have bought Teslas are like, yeah, I'm never going to buy a non-Tesla again because the process was like so easy, right? This reminds me of when I first bought my car back in 2019. I was shopping for the Honda Civic Sport hatchback, and I just remember having to email so many different dealerships just to try to get a price and negotiating, trying to get like the best deal. And it's just such a ridiculous process because no other product, in this country requires this amount of negotiation just to get like a good price, right? And especially for something so expensive, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, you walk into Best Buy, you see a TV, you see the price, that's how much you pay, end of story. There's no need to negotiate. They don't try to tack on like fees, they don't try to pressure you. Whereas with the car, like, that just goes out the window. Like, the price you see on the website is not the price you're going to pay, or that's not the price they're going to try to sell it to you at, which is such a ridiculous concept. But yeah, back when I was buying my car, I remember I went to the dealership, I found the car, and I was trying to get them to price match the price that another dealership offered me, and they said no, it was too low, blah blah blah. So I was like, all right, well, if you can't do it, then I guess I'm not buying the car today. And I wasn't really playing games. I was truly like, all right, I'm gonna leave. So I got in my car, I started to drive off the parking lot, and the salesperson ran after me. I was like, no, come back to the sales floor. Let's try to work out a deal. So it's just like it's such a weird concept. And I think the worst part really is, I remember when I walked into that dealership, the sun was still out, and when I finally left with the car, the sun had set. So I was there for like 3-4 hours, which is a crazy amount of time. And then if you compare that with my experience buying this car, this Tesla, I saw the car on the website, saw the price, saw it was a good price, and I clicked buy, and that was it. And then I went to the dealership, gave it a quick inspection, and I was out of there in like 30 minutes. Right? It was really that simple. So I don't know. I'm sure there's like a ton of regulation and laws and whatever, and lobbyists that are involved trying to keep the dealership model, but it's truly such a terrible model. And the one thing I will also say is, the one downside of buying from Tesla is you don't get to test drive your car, which I think is really weird. It's a really weird system that they have in place, and they don't let you test drive the car that you're going to buy. So I find that quite odd. But other than that, it was a really good experience. But yeah, with the rise of companies like Carvana, CarMax for used cars, those are pretty simple. The only problem is their prices tend to be a little bit higher. But people are willing to pay for that smoother experience. And also, dealerships like AutoNation are starting to come up. Those are non-negotiation dealerships. So it's always nice because, when you're browsing websites, you're trying to look for prices for a used car. When you see something from AutoNation, that price is legitimate. That's the price that you're going to pay. You're not going to pay higher. You're not going to pay lower. I feel like it's just such a simple thing to ask, but, they've made it so complicated and so daunting for the average person that, I feel like people have started to gravitate towards companies like CarMax and Carvana. But yeah, my little rant for today. Just how terrible the dealership model is, and we really got to get rid of it. Anyway, thanks for watching.